Once upon a time, in a little cottage far away, lived a widow with her 2 daughters. Now, the elder daughter was her mother's spitting image, not just in looks, but in her proud and disagreeable nature. They were 2 peas in a pod and utterly impossible to live with. The younger daughter, however, was as sweet and kind as her father had been, and she was breathtakingly beautiful. But, as it often goes, the mother adored the daughter who was just like her, and held a deep-seated dislike for the younger one. She banished the poor girl to the kitchen, forcing her to work from dawn till dusk. One of her hardest chores was to walk over a mile to the nearest fountain twice a day to fetch a heavy pitcher of water. One scorching afternoon, as the kind daughter was at the fountain, a frail, poor woman approached her and begged for a sip of water. "Of course, goody," the girl said with a warm smile. Without a second thought, she rinsed her pitcher, filled it with the clearest, coolest water from the spring, and held it steady so the woman could drink comfortably. After quenching her thirst, the woman's eyes twinkled. "You are so lovely, so good, and so wonderfully kind," she said, "that I must give you a gift." You see, this was no ordinary woman. She was a fairy in disguise, testing the girl's heart. "My gift to you," the fairy declared, "is this. With every word you speak, a flower or a precious jewel shall fall from your lips." When the girl finally returned home, her mother, furious at her delay, began to scold her. "I'm so sorry, Mama," the girl whispered, "for taking so long." As she spoke, 2 perfect roses, 2 shimmering pearls, and 2 brilliant diamonds tumbled from her mouth and onto the dusty floor. Her mother gasped, her eyes wide with astonishment. "What is this, pearls?" "Diamonds. How did this happen, my child?" It was the very first time she had ever called her my child. The girl, still in a daze, told her everything that had happened at the fountain, all the while dropping more jewels with every word. "Well," the mother exclaimed, her mind racing with greed, "I must send my own dear daughter there immediately. Fanny, look at what comes from your sister's mouth. Wouldn't you love to have a gift like that? All you have to do is go to the fountain and be polite to a poor woman who asks for a drink. Me, go to the fountain and draw water." The elder daughter sneered, as if but her mother was insistent. "You will go, and you will go now," she commanded. Grumbling every step of the way, the haughty girl stomped off, carrying the family's finest silver tankard. As soon as she reached the fountain, a magnificent lady dressed like a princess emerged from the woods and asked for a drink. It was the same fairy, now testing the limits of this girl's rudeness. "Do you think I came all this way just to serve you water?" the girl snapped. "I suppose you think this fancy silver tankard is just for you. Fine, drink if you must." The fairy simply replied, "You are hardly polite." Then, with a calm voice, she delivered her gift. "Since you are so unkind, with every word you speak, a snake or a toad shall come from your mouth." When the girl returned, her mother eagerly called out, "Well, daughter, well, mother." She answered back, and with those words a venomous viper and a warty toad fell from her lips. Oh, heavens! The mother shrieked in horror. "What have you done? This is all your sister's fault. She will pay for this." She flew into a rage and ran to beat the younger daughter. The poor girl fled in terror, running deep into the nearby forest to hide. As she sat there weeping, the king's son happened to be riding by, returning from a hunt. He was struck by her beauty, and seeing her tears, he asked why she was alone and crying. "Alas, sir," she said, "my mother has thrown me out." As she spoke, pearls and diamonds fell from her lips. The prince was captivated and asked her to explain this marvel. She told him her whole story, and he fell deeply in love. He realized her gift of kindness was worth more than any dowry. He took her back to his father's palace, and they were married. As for the elder sister, she became so loathsome that even her own mother could unstand her and threw her out of the house. Alone and despised, she wandered until she found a dark corner of the woods, where she perished, miserable and forgotten.